A verbal agreement is apparently in place, according to Boxing Scene, for Sebastian Fundora to defend his WBC 154-pound title against Keith Thurman on October 18th in Las Vegas. I mean, I just shrugged my shoulders when I heard about this fight. Okay. Fundora is a world champion. After being stopped, he came back well when he got the opportunity against Tim Tszyu. In his most recent fight, he beat Tim Tszyu again, stopped him. Tim Tszyu actually quit. Taking on, at least according to the verbal agreement, Keith Thurman, who's coming off that win over Brock Jarvis. Keith Thurman is pushing 40 now. His best years were 5, 6, 7 years ago. Is he going to go in there and beat Sebastian Fundora? I'll be very surprised. Fundora's like 6'5", 6'6", gangly. And in his most recent bout, again, that rematch with Tim Tszyu, he showed a better ability to actually utilize his long reach. Because one of the things he's been guilty of in the past, the Towering Inferno, his sister boxes as well, by the way. His sister's extremely tall. Too. She's a spidery tall woman. But yeah, one of the things he'd been guilty of in the past, Fundora, is being a tall guy who fights predominantly up close, mid and close range. But like I say, in the Tim Tszyu rematch, he was keeping Tszyu for the most part on the end of his shots. There was a period, it was actually, ironically, towards the end of the fight, where Fundora started to get caught quite a lot again. Tim Tszyu was managing to get close and what have you, but then Tim Tszyu inexplicably just quit when he seemed to be doing well. But anyway, other than that patch, Fundora controlled things on the outside using that ridiculously long reach very well. Now, Keith Thurman is definitely, even at his advanced age, a faster fighter, I want to say, than Tim Tszyu. He's certainly less upright, faster, a bit more dynamic, but he's old. I don't know how long he can keep the movement up for. They used to call him Runtime because in the amateurs he got given the name One Time because he knocked a lot of people out apparently with one punch, but he didn't really show that type of power in the pros. He had decent power, but nothing spectacular. So people started calling him Runtime because he used to win a lot of his fights by running around the ring. I'm not sure he's got the legs to do that anymore. If he does have the legs to do that for the majority of the fight against Fundora, in and out raiding tactics, maybe he gives it a good go. What do you guys think? Are any of you even interested in this matchup? They need to set up some unifications for Fundora, man. This is really typical of a PBC move, isn't it? They've got such a tiny stable now. They're digging up Keith Thurman to fight Sebastian Fundora. This is what PBC have been reduced to. These are their offerings these days on Amazon Prime. The very few shows they have, they're putting the likes of Fundora versus Keith Thurman on. And before I go, make sure you check out my Moses Italma Dylan White film study on Patreon. It's 1 hour of me going through actual footage from both of their fights and pointing out various technical flaws and proficiencies in both men. Will this be liftoff for Moses Italma, or will the young contender be exposed as another pretender by the old warhorse Dylan White? This film study may persuade you one way or the other. Also, check out this other recent film study I've done, Alexander Usyk, Signs of Decline, where I go through footage of some of his fights, including his most recent win over Daniel Dubois, and point out what I believe to be indications of Father Time catching up with him. As counterintuitive as that might sound to some, given the fact he stopped Dubois quicker in the rematch than he did in the first fight, but there are reasons for that, which I go into. So make sure you check these videos out. You can access them along with previous film studies I've done and hundreds of hours of other exclusive boxing content on my Patreon page via the boxing tier, the Boxing Brotherhood. There's no contract, no commitment. You can cancel at any time. It's cheaper than a cup of coffee. You know the routine by now. All the links are in the description box below. I'll see you over there.